Welcome in to another Running with the Timberwolves podcast on the Believe Sports Network. My name is Gabe Anderson, usually joined by Chris, but tonight I'm going solo to do a little post-game podcast. It's been a long time, almost pretty much a full work week since we got to watch Timberwolves basketball. Their loss to the Golden State Warriors on Sunday, and now waiting an entire week because of the NBA Cup. But the extra NBA Cup game turns out that we play the Lakers, who we've had some success against this year. Now, obviously, the first game of the year didn't go the way that we had anticipated. We were still working out a couple kinks in that game, and I would argue are still working out a couple kinks now. But one thing that you got to say about this game is that the Wolves brought the defense in this one. Now, a lot of the turnovers by the Lakers were self-inflicted. A lot of them, particularly early on, I think they had 11 in the first quarter, which is not ideal at all. But a lot of them were self-inflicted. And I'm not going to lie to you and say that the Lakers are a good team, because particularly without LeBron, who has been playing some of the worst basketball of his career right now. Without LeBron, this team looks absolutely terrible. This is a bad team, and it almost seems like a couple times Anthony Davis, I wonder what Anthony Davis's psyche is after a game like this, because there was a couple of times, like, for example, the Wolves missed a shot, a forced-up shot. The Lakers played great defense against them, and then I think it was Hachimura and Randall go for the same rebound, deflects off them, and goes right to Jaden up for a bucket. And it turns from 5-point down with the Lakers with the ball to 7 points down late in the fourth quarter. So a lot of them were self-inflicted, but you got to give it where credit is due. The Wolves did force 30 turnovers this game. Now, where you don't like to see is where the Wolves gave up 22 turnovers. So we got to get better with that. I don't know what the turnover problem is. I think it's just the guys gluing together. But if you would have told me that the Wolves had a quarter where they scored 20 points and a quarter where they scored 18 points, I would have marked it down as a loss right out of the gate, because we've seen bad quarters where we score 18 in the teens amount of points, and we can't recover from that. But the good news is we played good enough defense that it didn't matter. I think Jaden had 5 steals tonight. He was fantastic. I know you listening to this podcast, Jaden can get a lot of hate, but he stepped up tonight and was fantastic. I thought Julius Randle was good tonight as well, as much hate as he gets as well. We were talking in our group chat where we talked about the Wolves, the guys who get the most hate, which are Jaden and Julius. Julius, because of his, ISO one-on-one ball kind of freezing the offense, which kind of stands out even more where in crunch time you have Ant freezing the offense as well. But I thought Julius was scoring when no one else could score tonight. So kudos to him. Ends with 21 points on the night. Really did most of his damage in the first half, but that is when we needed him. I thought there were a couple times where the Wolves could have run away with this game, like really put it in the back burner, particularly after that time up. We're up 15. And then I want to talk about this play. The Lakers, I think it was the one time tonight where the Lakers played zone against us, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker's in the game. And we've seen it before. Particularly, I remember the Heat game, which I was at. The Heat played zone time after time after time, and I kept yelling, someone go to the high post. It's like day one basketball, right? Where you learn basically in, maybe not day one, but in 5th grade, right? You learn that how do you beat a zone? A, shooting, and B, someone goes to the high post. And what happens? They have the ball. The Wolves have the ball on the perimeter. Nickeil Alexander-Walker goes to the high post after standing around for a while and realizes, oh, this is wide open, particularly against a bad defense. I think they're ranked like 26 in the league in defense, which 22 turnovers against a team that is 26 in the league in defense, and only putting up 97 points is a problem, but we're going to look past that tonight. Nikhil goes to the high post, gets a little bounce pass. The defense collapses, leaves Rudy right open for a slam. We're up 17. Now, I know this is around the time where Anthony Edwards got hurt. Hopefully, he's all good. He did come back in the game, but it's almost expected now. How many times this season have we, or not only this season, but just in Ant's career, have we seen Ant go down with something and he's come back? Like, I think it was 2 years ago he missed a couple games, but that was really it. He really hasn't missed long stretches of the season. And knock on wood, hopefully that continues, because he is, you could talk whatever you want about his game, bad shot selection, but so far in his career, he has been durable, and he has been able to come back from what looks like, particularly on his hip a couple times. This time, I think it was ankle. He's been able to come back from, it looked like season-ending injuries, and come back sometimes in the same game, like we saw in this one. Now, I'm not saying that this one looked like a season-ending injury. I don't think that was the case at all. But still, I mean, it's crazy how he gets back up, bounces back up, and keeps coming and keeps coming back into the game time after time. But yeah, the big stat in this one, if you get nothing else from this, Wolves cause 30 turnovers from the Lakers, and points off turnovers 27-12. So you'd actually like your points off turnovers, if you're going to turn them over 30 times, be a little higher than 27, but we'll take 27, particularly because there's so many games that we're on the downside of turnovers. We turn over the ball way more times than the other team, but tonight's wasn't one of those nights. And how about, again, the Wolves keep a team under 100, which is good, because if they didn't, they would have lost. But I'm pretty sure that basically, I think pretty much every game in these last 5 out of 6 wins, I'm pretty sure every win we kept the team under 100 or close to that. So, I mean, this defense has been purring. It has not missed a step since Karl Anthony Towns and Kyle Anderson. Well, maybe it missed a step at the beginning of the season, but it is starting to turn on. And we also saw some hustle plays from guys that we harp on time and time again for not hustling, like Julius Randle. I thought made some nice plays where he's diving to the floor, knocking the ball away. Conley had some nice pokeaways, but when you start with defense, you got to start with Jaden McDaniels, who was all over tonight. 2 blocks, 5 steals. 5 steals is astounding. Plus 20. But hey, the top 2 plus minus tonight, or the top 3, Anthony Edwards, which, okay, you would expect, Julius Randle at a plus 23, and Jaden at a plus 20. If it wasn't for those guys tonight, we would be in major trouble, because once again, DiVincenzo couldn't find his shot tonight. Really only played 20 minutes, went 1 for 4, 1 for 3 from behind the 3-point line. Still a mystery with him. An uncharacteristic night from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He finishes 1 for 7, and he missed a wide open dunk. Now, I praised him a little bit ago with his high post play coming out of the zone, but, and maybe I'm overblowing this. You can tell me in the comments if I am. But I feel like too many times guys on fast breaks, and I've seen this with Ant before. Now, obviously, let me preface this by saying, how many times have we seen Ant dunk on John Collins? In fact, I have that back there on my wall, a picture of that. But I feel like too many times, and Jaden in particular, Jaden does this all the time, where they'll go for the flashy throwdown. They'll go for the throwdown to try to make SportsCenter top 10. And instead, what they should do is just either lay it up or just dunk it normally. I feel like too many times guys are going for the flashy slant. And maybe this is me sounding like the old head here, like, oh, I don't like flash or anything. No. I love it. Like I said, on my wall, I have a picture of Anthony Edwards dunking over John Collins. That's awesome when you get a cool dunk in there. All I'm saying is when you need the points, go for the sure thing. But like I said, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, tough game tonight. I'm sure he will bounce back. Only 2 points. He's a -7 tonight. He did turn over the ball once. Naz Reid was, I would say, average, did hit a big 3 in there. And we got to give some credit to Rob Dillingham. Now, I will say that he took one bad 3, kind of a heat check 3 after he made the other 2. But, I mean, he was ready. Credit to him. That's what guys like Terrence Shannon Jr. and Luka Garza and Josh Minot got to do. They got to stay ready because there's no telling when an injury could hit this team at the wrong time. They got to stay ready. And to their credit, Rob Dillingham came in, made 2 threes when, let's be honest, the offense was not humming whatsoever. The offense was awful at the end of that second quarter. Thankfully, some timely threes from Nickeil, and I think one from Naz as well really helped out to help go into the fourth quarter up 11, which, of course, the Lakers chipped away, and then the Lakers offense went stagnant at the end. They started hitting some threes at the beginning. Austin Reeves got in there. D'Lo hit a couple. And I got to be honest, I still worry every time D'Lo starts making some shots because I'm like, oh no, are we seeing a D'Lo revenge game? And I know it's crazy to say that because I don't know the complete longevity, but I'm pretty sure that D'Lo has been with LA longer than he was with the Timberwolves. So take that for what you will, for the revenge game. Like, it's for example, whenever I watch Andrew Wiggins, I'm like, oh, he's going to go off on us. But I'm sure bygones be gone. Like, Andrew Wiggins has won a championship with the Warriors. I'm sure he's moved on from his days in Minnesota. But, of course, we got the ultimate quote-unquote revenge game coming up on Thursday, which we'll worry about in a little bit. Got to beat the Spurs first. But, of course, the big game everyone has circles, Karl-Anthony Towns comes back to town, and if Randall has a tough game and DiVincenzo has a tough game and Cat goes for something like 25 and 10, and everyone's going to be, oh no, what did we do? Well, we'll save it for then. We'll talk about this tonight. Anthony Edwards, I thought he had some clutch shots. He also took some tough shots as well. He goes 9 for 20 as tonight, 23 points. Like I said, a plus 25. So when he was out there, good things happened. Kind of like if you're a Survivor fan, if you go to the sanctuary where good things happen, if you know. But I thought he was decent tonight. It wasn't his best game. Obviously, he left with an ankle injury, and that cut off some longevity, or that cut off some of his minutes. He played 33, where Rudy Gobert played 38. I thought Rudy was awesome tonight. 1 block, 1 steal, 5 for 8 from the field, pulled down 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds for Rudy Gobert. And I'll say it, the Wolves have got to get better. I don't know what the thing is. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's going down court too fast or if it's just not crashing or not anticipating the long rebound. But teams are going to shoot threes. It's the new NBA. Look at what the Knicks are doing and look at what the Celtics are doing and even what the Wolves are doing as well. We got to get better at getting after the long rebound. We almost got to anticipate the long rebound coming because we let up 15 offensive rebounds tonight. And that's way too many. I mean, let's just go down. Davis had 2. Okay, whatever. He's a good defensive rebounder. And we'll talk about the defense on Davis in a minute. I thought it was good, but we'll get there in a second. Rui had 2. Vincent had 1. Reeves had 2. Christie had 3. Reddish had 3. And then D'Angelo Russell had 2. But we got to anticipate those long rebounds and get the clamps on there. But other than that, I thought our defense was solid, particularly on Anthony Davis. who I would imagine is probably a broken man right about now, because there's rumors that LeBron may request a trade, or not request a trade, but LeBron could get traded. Then it becomes Anthony Davis's team, and I honestly don't know if there's enough around him to compete. We'll have to see. And who knows what kind of mental state LeBron James is in, because he basically left the team. This isn't like, oh, he's resting tonight. Now he is resting. He is milking a little bit of an injury, but he basically left. He left for personal reasons. That means there's something going on. This isn't like, oh, the birth of a child or something. This is, my mind's not right, and I got to get right, which I hope LeBron's all the best, because I've been very vocal in the past. LeBron for years was my favorite player. I'm not going to get into the LeBron Jordan debate. He's my Jordan because, and this is what I'm making this very clear. He is my Jordan because I was not of age to see Jordan play. Basically, my NBA fandom started right when Jordan was teaching Kwame Brown how to play. So I did not, and now obviously I've seen the Dream Team documentaries. Oh, no, sorry, not the Dream Team. What was it? The Bulls documentary that we all watched during COVID. I've seen all that. I know he won the championships. I know. But I grew up with LeBron, and that's who I watched, and that's who amazed me. I think his block against Iguodala, now you could call it overrated, that was the greatest NBA moment I have ever experienced that did not involve the Wolves. Ranking better than that was, of course, the Wolves beating the Nuggets. Actually, twice. Game 82 beat that as well. My first Wolves playoff game, we got killed, but oh well. But yeah, LeBron, I hope he figures it out. I hope he gets right. But I think if you're a Laker fan, you're not feeling very confident right now. So let's talk about the defense on Anthony Davis. I thought it was good. I think Julius Randle can do a good job on. Now, I know he wasn't on there all the time. Rudy had some of the credit as well. I think we forced Anthony Davis to take some longer shots, which he can make, but I think we just got to live with that. Live with him taking 3-point shots. It's kind of like what we'll see on Sunday night with Wembanyama. Make him take perimeter shots, and if he hits them, clap as he runs down the court, because that's the blueprint. That is the blueprint to beat these guys, and I thought we kept Anthony Davis intact. 10 for 21. He went 1 for 5 from 3. Was a minus 22. Did have 11 rebounds, but he'll do that. Had 3 blocks, so a typical Anthony Davis game, but we didn't let him go nuts like he did in the first game against us earlier on in the year in game 1 against the Wolves. So a good performance for nights from the Wolves. Not perfect, because like I said, the Lakers are not a great team, particularly with some of the players they're missing. Of course, they're missing guys like Jared Vanderbilt and, of course, LeBron James and Christian Wood and stuff like that. But I always say it, you got to beat the team that is in front of you, and that's what the Wolves did tonight. And it was good to see them come out in the first quarter and gain some set. Now, I know the Lakers got back within 6 going into halftime, but 32 points in the first quarter, you were worried that they were going to be like in an offensive slump coming out of the break, but they were pedaled to the metal at the beginning. Now, the second quarter didn't go as well, and the fourth quarter as well. Let's just say the Wolves, if they have 2 quarters where they combine for 38 points, they're not going to win many basketball games. But I think this was just one of those nights. Anyway, I think it was just one of those nights where it almost kicked back to like an 90s style basketball, where you're in the 90s and 80s point-wise, and every point's a grind, and you got to earn every single point, and a lot of long twos as well. It almost felt like kind of a 90s Jordan era. There comes Jordan again. Kind of basketball game, and Hey, you hold the Lakers to 87 points after the last game holding them to 82 points. I'm sure the Lakers are probably pretty sick of playing us, and I don't think we match up with them for a while. I do believe I'll see the next time the Wolves play the Lakers. I think it's in November, or no, excuse me, February. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Let's check. Little Google find here. But yeah, I there were a couple times I don't know. I get too into games. That's why I gotta, like, for example, my friend Dante, I always ask, hey, do you want to watch the Patriots game? Because he's a big Patriots fan. He's always like, nope, no, I do not. Because I don't know, it's just getting into games. You kind of got to watch them alone. And I know that's a bad habit to get into, but let's just say sometimes my neighbors hate me after games. So next time we play the Lakers is Thursday, February 27th. So who knows? The Lakers could make a big trade at the deadline. The Wolves can make a big trade at the deadline. Who knows how the teams will look at that time? But we don't play the Lakers for a while. Of course, coming up, the big one, a couple big ones. San Antonio, 6 p.m. in San Antonio. Hoping for not a letdown game after that. And then the big one, New York Knicks and Karl Anthony Towns come to town. Unfortunately, that's a home game. And unfortunately, because of TNT, I'm sure Harlan will be on the call for that one. But unfortunately, that is a 8:30 start because of TNT. I don't make the rules. Then we got Golden State. Then at Atlanta. Atlanta's been playing good there in the NBA Cup right now. I'm rooting for them, actually. And then Christmas Day, baby. Can't wait. Family, let's eat early because the Wolves are on at 1:30 taking on the Dallas Mavericks on Christmas. But we'll talk to you way before then. I'm going to try to start doing more post-game podcasts, so keep it tuned. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and or Apple, and leave a comment as well. At the end of the day, the Wolves, after Ant called out the team, have won 5 out of 6 games. So let's be happy. Let's celebrate. It's a good time to be a Wolves fan right now. And as always, go Wolves.